All right, welcome to another Algebra 2 presentation from American Indian Public High School. My name is Mr. Dittmer. Our objective here is to simplify complex fractions, and what that looks like. Um, what that looks like? What's a complex fraction? What's a complex fraction? Because our objective is to simplify them. A complex fraction is a fraction with a fraction in it, and it's like, oh boy, that fractions were hard enough as it is, but you'll see it's not really that tough. Like if I just did one with numbers in it, all that means is 3/4 divided by 2/3. And you guys have done that before, so since you can do that, it follows you should be able to do this just as easily. However, what made this easy was that you knew what the reciprocal was, because all you had to do was flip it, right? So in our first example we're going to do here, we don't know that what the reciprocal is quite as easily because we've got an addition problem in the denominator and it has not common denominators. So I have to solve this addition problem and make it into one fraction before I can find the reciprocal of the whole denominator. I have to sort of simplify that by getting a common denominator. So x is not a factor of x plus 2, so they don't have a common factor, so I'm just going to have to multiply them by each other to get a common denominator. And that means I'm multiplying on the left, I'm multiplying the whole thing by x, so 1 times x is x. On the right, I'm multiplying the whole thing by x plus 2, so 2 times x plus 2. And adding that all together. Now, that leads me, so my numerators staying the same the whole time. I'm not even looking at that yet. And then now my denominator is something with common denominator this, which is basically, if I multiplied it out, it would be x squared plus 2x, right? And the numerator, I'm going to use a different color for that. I'm adding these together. Now, to add them together, I'm going to want to distribute here. So this is going to become 2x plus 4. And x plus 2x plus 4, well, what like terms are there? X and 2x. That makes 3x. And the 4 is separate. So now I've got this as my complex fraction. This is something I can now do. Now I can flip the bottom. Now I can flip the bottom. So basically, I just copied this onto another screen, and I'm going to say, let me erase these stray marks, and those ones I cannot erase. But now I'm just going to take that numerator, and I'm dividing it by the denominator, dividing it by 3x plus 4, and let's go ahead and multiply out the x by the x plus 2, distribute, and we get x squared plus 2x. Okay, now, next up, what does it mean when we divide a fraction? We multiply by the reciprocal. So I got x, and now I see it was silly of me to multiply back together because I'm going to want to have it factored. So my bad, that made it more confusing. I want to have it factored because look what I'm going to do now. So you see I'm multiplying by the reciprocal. I basically just flip this upside down. And now, since it's multiplication, now I can start canceling. This and this cancel. And so all I've got is 2x on top and 3x plus 4 on the bottom. Oh, Mr. Dittmer, can you cancel the x's? No, because the 4 is part of this. So if I took the x out of 3x, I'd have to take it out of 4 also, and x doesn't go into 4, so this is as simple as it gets. So that's simplifying a complex fraction. Let's do one more. 1 over p plus 1 over q. So again, I want to flip I want to divide by this, but that means multiply by the reciprocal, and I need to figure out what the reciprocal is by doing the addition, so getting a common denominator. So common denominator, p and q, no common factors, so I'm just going to multiply. This is pq, this is pq. what do I have to multiply P by to get Q? Multiply by Q. Q times 1 is Q. This one I multiply by P. P times 1 is P. So my denominator is actually Q plus P over PQ. So instead of being 1 divided by that, I'm going to change it to 1 times the reciprocal of that. When I say that, I mean the denominator. The reciprocal is here. And of course, 1 times something is that itself, so this part that I just circled is the answer. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in class tomorrow.